Hello and welcome to another video for myatmm.com. It's time to look for some transactions to track or some new positions to get into. So let's get right to it. Okay, here we are at the website myatmm.com. Our account has been reset and we are building from scratch and ready to look for a new position. I will say that we have always had this covered call screen in the application, and we have recently added a new option search menu option. What I want to do is just demonstrate briefly how to use the old one. It grouped the calls and puts together on the same row, and it showed you the next expiration, but it only showed you the single row per stock symbol and lets you search and filter that data accordingly. The option search gives you a little bit more fine-grained control, but generally how I like to do this is I only run the continuous wheel strategy on dividend paying stocks. I do that because if I end up getting stuck in the stock, then at least I'm going to get paid a dividend regardless of where the price moves. So I like to focus on dividend paying stocks, so I filter down to that. And you'll notice, let me undo that. You'll notice right now I have 529 records currently in the list. As soon as I filter down to just dividend paying, it filters it down to 269. Also, something that I've started doing recently is I used to just focus on S&P 500 dividend paying stocks, but more recently I've actually been focusing on ETF only stocks instead of S&P 500. So basically a dividend paying ETF stock, and you can see that filtered it down to one. Not very many choices, and that's because I do not have the weekly paying ETF stocks in here apparently. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and add those. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So what I like to do is I'm on CBOE's website. They're available weeklies. They have a downloadable CSV that I'm going to go ahead and download and open so I can show you this process. So let me just click download. It's taking its time. There we go. Let me get this open. Hold on. All right, so I have that open. Let me just format this a little bit. And I'm only interested in ETFs. So here's the grouping, available weekly ETFs. So there's all the symbols for that. If just want to show you, so here's available weekly equity. I had originally come in here and grab just the stock ticker symbols for just the equities, which is just the stock symbols. If I highlighted all of those, you would see that I have like 600, there's about 500 of them highlighted, but we don't need to add those because those have already been added. What I do want to focus on are the ETFs, and as you can see, there's that yen one right there. So there, now I got all of the weekly paying ETFs symbols highlighted. We're going to copy those, and then we go back over to the website, and I actually just paste those in right here, and I just click add, and that will go through and add all of those symbols. You can see there's 95 of them, and as you can see, we only have one showing up that's a dividend paying ETF, and now you can see we have 73. And this one, EMB, it looks like there's just some error that happened with pulling the data for that one. We can go ahead and try it again by clicking the refresh, and it'll put it back in the queue, and we'll see if something comes back up for that. But if it doesn't, you know, we'll just move on, because as you can see, there's plenty of other options that it did pull data back for. So now we have a lot more data available. Okay, so continuing down the filter. So we dividends, dividend paying ETFs. The earnings ETFs won't have this earnings stuff, so you need to make sure you select all. And you can tell because if I select positive, they'll all disappear, which they do, because they don't have negative does show up apparently because it's not the positive. But anyway, so all is what we like to keep that set to. That's more for single stock and equities to do that filter with. So let's see here. All right. Something else I like to filter down for is, say you want to focus on a minimum ROI of 1%. You only want to look for stocks that have 1% options, or options that are only paying at least 1% ROI. So you put in 1%, that filtered it down to 24. I think, what was it before? So it's 73, 1%, 24 of them are above 1%. But we don't want to pay, we'll say we don't want to pay more than $50 for it. So we're going to filter down to only stocks that are less than 50 bucks. That filters it down to 17. And also we can also just click last price and sort it by last price. So as you can see, there's some really cheap ones in here. Say we don't want to focus on those cheaper ones. We only want to focus on things that are more than 20 but less than 50. There we go, we're down to 11. So now we got kind of a list going on here that we can focus on, just looking at these 11, looking at the metrics for them. We can sort it by the call ROI, but getting into a stock, starting the continuous wheel strategy out, we're looking for a put. So we would be focused on the puts, and you can see BITO right here is paying a really high percentage. So anyway, I've showed enough of this screen. I want to hop over to the option search screen so I can show you that one as well. Because I think this is probably my newer, more favorite way to look for options that I'm looking to trade, because it'll show the strikes, the expirations, and more information like that, which is more relevant when you're looking for a new position. All right, so we're going to click on option search, and we're going to kind of follow the same suit. It does cap it at 500 plus, because if you put too many records on the screen, it starts getting really sluggish. So we cap it at 500. You know, you're probably not going to be looking at more than 500 in detail. So again, we want to filter down to dividends. And again, this is just the way I like to do it. All these other filters are available for you so you can use it however you want to. And we filter down to dividend paying ETFs. So now we're down to 304. And this is an individual stock ticker symbols. As you'll notice, it's repeating the symbols. That's why there's 304. And on the other screen, there's only like 72 of them. That's because it's repeating. Something else I'd like to do. So we're looking for the expiration coming this Friday. So this coming Friday is April 5th. So expiration date right now is showing all of them. And the reason why it's showing April 1st, SPY is in here. So it has like daily. So if I clicked on April 1st right here, see, you would see the daily paying ETFs here. So that's why we're seeing April 1st, we're seeing April 2nd, we're seeing April 3rd, so you can filter down to just those. But we're going to focus on, we don't want to trade, we want to trade the 5th, because we're just focusing on the weeklies for just this continuous wheel strategy. All right, so I'm going to filter down to just this Friday's expirations. So now I got 141 in this list. Also, we're looking specifically for a put. We don't want to see the calls, because as you can see, it has the calls and the puts in here. So we will also filter down to just puts. Now we're down to 70 records. And again, we don't want anything more than 50 bucks and minimum. So it went down to 32. We don't want to pay anything less than 20. All right, so now we got that filtered down more. Also, let's filter down for the ROI. We don't want anything less than a 1% ROI. Just some parameters that I'm using. You could use whatever you want to. You could put in 10%. Well, there's no 10%ers, so it's just a crude filtering mechanism that I use. And also, if you're looking for a specific stock, you could actually put that in right here. So let's just pick one. I'll just pick TMV. If you were focusing on just TMV stocks, you could actually put in just that stock symbol. And also, you can put in more than one. So if you were looking for one, I think TNA was also on the list. So let's put TNA. So see, it'll filter down for multiple symbols, not just one at a time. So let's back that out, because I want to look at all of them. And let's sort it for ROI, because I want to get the highest ROI, or just start looking at it from the highest ROI's perspective. And so we got BITO, Soxel, and some other ones here. And also, if you wanted to focus on, we already know the price is going to be between these two. So 32, that's pretty good. 46 is and when I say pretty good, I mean in the range that I want to stay in. It's actually kind of in the middle between 20 and 50. So that one looks a little bit more appealing. And I will say something I had thought about before this video. BITO is the Bitcoin ETF, and Bitcoin seems to be really hot in the news these days. So I think we're going to use BITO in this demo to show you how to cash flow Bitcoin, basically, by running the continuous wheel strategy on it. And in addition to that, it's paying a really high premium as well. So this will be a very interesting concept to run on for the demo. So that's what we're going to run with. We're going to look at running the continuous wheel strategy on BITO. And yeah, so let's go over to Thinkorswim and start looking at the options for this, and look at placing order for, or order to sell a cash secured put. Here we are back on Thinkorswim's trading platform. We need to go over to the Analyze tab and type in the stock ticker symbol BITO, and that's the ProShares Bitcoin Strategies ETF. We are looking for this coming Friday's option, cash secured put, and just for, I like to see what's out ahead of it. I like to look at at least like the next 2 or 3 just to see if there's a huge premium jump, because if I can get, so basically $1.75 is what we can pull for an at the money cash secured put right now. If for some reason, like for traditional stocks, if there's earnings coming up, having double the premium is not unnormal. So $1.75. So if it was double, so what would that be? $3.50 about. If I could get $3.50 right now for 2 weeks out, then I would go ahead and do that because I'm getting the same rate per week. And same goes for 3 weeks out. If I could get 3 times this 3 weeks out, then I would probably do it because that just locks in the high premium for that long period of time. The only reason we focus on the next upcoming weekly is because that has the largest amount of extrinsic value, which is what we're doing. We're selling time. And as you can see, there's only $1.80 in extrinsic here, and there's $2.34 there. That's the midpoint between 214 and that, so that's why it says that high number. But again, that's only 0.6. See that? That's only 60 cents more. So it's not like a full $1.80 more in time. So the lion's share of the time that we're selling is in the first upcoming expiration. So that's the one we're going to focus on. All right. And this is a way to cash flow Bitcoin. So we're going to left click on this bid column, and the spread is 175 to 186. So that's what, an 11 cents? Yeah, an 11 cent spread. So we should be able to get a nickel more. So I'm going to put it up to 180. And we're only going to do one contract. We're going to right click on this guy, confirm and send. And so this will be a credit of 180 minus the commission. So we should get around 180 bucks. And make sure this is in the right account, the IRA. That's where we're running these continuous wheel strategy positions. Yep, so all that looks good. Click send. All right, so now that order is submitted. So Bitcoin, like I said, is really hot in the news these days. And this is a way to, play off the Bitcoin hype, but cash flow it at the same time. So if we do get stuck into this, then it actually is paying a dividend too, and it's giving wild premiums. Now the funny thing about it is you can see the cash secured put, the put sides are much higher premiums, and the call side's not so much. But even the call side is like twice what what the current trading price is going for. So it's still even doing at least 2% on the other side of it. So anyway, we're going to put this order in as we already did. Wait till market open tomorrow, and we'll see how it plays out, and we'll review it in the next week's video. I want to thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and go out today to myatmm.com and get your free account so you can start tracking your own transactions. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.